This video is to show you how to complete a basic call in Astea Alliance Mobile Edge. Once you log in, you'll see a list of calls here. All of these calls can be sorted and filtered using these icons at the top if you're looking for a particular one. Each one of these icons at the bottom of the work card means something different. This is going to be your contact information and work order summary. The thumbs up is going to be to accept the call. As you can see, when I click it, it disappears and then shows accepted by SA or service agent. Also on this card, you can see the address. If there's a phone number, you see the phone number, and a particular person who called in, you could see that person's name here. In order to mark yourself in travel, you hit the vehicle icon at the bottom of the work card. Whenever you do, it's going to pop up a wheel for you to choose the time that you started your commute. This will not allow you to go into the future. It will only allow you to go backwards. So once I've chosen my time, I hit done. Here it is. I'm going to jump into the call by using the chevron icon here at the top in the blue. When I jump in here, I see a couple of things. I can see the details that I was able to see on the work list. I'm also able to see any kind of checklist that needs to be made available. So if there's an IVR, it's going to show here and give me a phone number. In order to start work, I click this icon with the clock and the arrow pointing forward. It's also flashing orange. I'm allowed to change my time backwards here, but I'm not allowed to go forward any more than 15 minutes. If I do try to go forward more than 15 minutes, it's going to throw an error. It says the start time cannot be in the future. So there is a little bit of cushion there, but not very much. So I'm going to hit start work again. Then I'm going to, I'm just going to bump this back to about 9:30. Now I have the opportunity to add services. In order to add a service, I use this orange fast action button down at the bottom. Whenever I click it, choose service. I can choose from a drop down of all types of services here. I'm going to choose tester. Sorry, perfect. We're going to change the disposition to fulfilled because this is a labor line item. You can fill in any other comments or information here. Click save. Then it's going to bump you down to equipment and product. In order to move down, we're going to use these arrows over here at the top right. So I'm bumping down to equipment. I'm going to use the fast action button again to add equipment. I'm going to choose equipment product. You have the opportunity to choose a site item if you're doing a PM or completing a PM, or you can choose any particular item that you're doing work to. Today we're going to choose this condensing unit. If you wanted to add a new piece of equipment, you can use this fast action button down at the bottom. There are some required fields. All of those are marked with an asterisk. There are some extra fields where you can leave comments as well. You do not have to use those. So once I've chosen my equipment, I'm going to use this blue check mark here. And it's going to take me back out to my main screen. I need to add some materials to this equipment, so I'm going to use my down arrow. I'm going to use my fast action button here, click materials. This material list is what is in Astea in your van as inventory. So one thing that we are able to do is go negative. So if we need to bill while we're on site, we're able to do that, and then we want to leave the call in labor complete open PR so that it can be sorted out on the back end. But we didn't want to slow guys down in billing, so we are able to go negative if something here is not correct, with the hopes that it sorts itself out over the next few calls. All right, so I'm going to choose this air filter. I'm going to hit the next button here, and then I have to apply it to a piece of equipment. So I've only chosen one piece of equipment in this case. If there were multiple pieces, you'd have a drop down here so that you could add each individual material to each individual service item. And we're going to want to make sure we change that disposition to the proper disposition. In this case, it's fulfilled. Saving. finished with materials now. I'm going to use my arrow to go down to expenses. I don't have any expenses to add. The only expenses that we put here right now are parking expenses that can be billed to the customer. That affects very few technicians. Now, what it's showing in here in the parentheses 1 is my travel time. So whenever I get finished, it's going to record my travel time into expenses, but it does not need to be changed by the user. So I'm going to bump down to completion. And in order to complete, I have an activity to fulfill here. Before I hit this orange flashing check mark, I have to complete these circles. It's with red circles. So clicking activities, it's going to ask me to stop work. Whenever I choose stop work, it's going to allow me to go up to 15 minutes in the future or in the past, but it won't allow you to go any further than that. It will send you an error message. So I'm just going to go a few minutes in the future here. Hit done. Choosing my stop code. In this case, it was resolved. Now I can choose the pulsating orange blue check mark. I'm going to click resolved. I'm going to choose my problem code. You can choose as many of these as you like. I'm going to choose my cause. We can choose as many of these as you like. And then we're going to choose my repair. Many of those as you like. Resolve code and new resolve text. So something different about resolve text is you do not have to put the date and time. You just put your professional resolve text of exactly what happened while you're on site. And you're going to record your temperatures here. Hitting the next arrow here. It's going to warn me that if I continue, I will not be able to edit this call. Yes. Here's a summary of the call. Once I've reviewed it, I made sure that everything is accurate. I'm hitting the next button. Here's your signature of your store manager or person on site. You may email this to yourself. You may email this to your service manager or account manager if someone's requesting it from here. You may also toggle it off and not email it to anyone, and you may also store it as an attachment only. Whenever you store it as an attachment only, it shows up on this paper clip down here at the bottom. And the paper clip includes any attachment on this site, including the signature and the copy. In this case, we're going to email it over. In the paper airplane, definitely resolved. This is all pre-populated, so the only thing you have to do is hit this check mark again, and that call is gone off of your work list and will now show in your history.